Welcome to Impact Duty. I'm your host, Manisha Dadlani Kripalani, bringing you empowering stories of friends and people I admire. Their voices have given me joy and the momentum to share their stories with you. Chef Ashish Bhasin is the founder and director of CB Hospitality. Chef Bhasin is one of the most celebrated chefs in India, having received an award as the country's top 5 chefs and many more accolades. He has had over 2.5 decades of experience in the hospitality industry, including the Taj Group of Hotels, the Oberoi Group, and the Leela Hotels. He has set many culinary trends and opened the iconic Threesixty restaurant at the Oberoi Delhi. Chef Bhasin gives emotions to his ingredients to reach the hearts of consumers through food. Chef Bhasin, welcome to Impact Duty. I've been looking forward to chatting with you. How are you doing?
I'm doing perfect. And in fact, I was looking, once we fix up an appointment, I was backward counting 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. So I was looking forward.
Wow. And it's the festive season over there. So I'm sure there's a lot going on for you at the moment. I mean, we've just about started the festive season. So tell me a little bit more about what manicness is going on over there, how crazy it's been for you at the moment.
Uh, I won't use it's crazy, but I'll say it's fun. There's a lot of work. People are celebrating. A lot of restaurants are coming up. And recently, when I've moved out, so I'm doing a lot of restaurants. So across the globe, a lot of traveling happening, literally living out of suitcase, plus personal family commitment. My daughter is also a classical Bharatanatyam dancer, so her performance is happening. So managing
Wow.
work and personal things. So it's fun. It's fun.
Wonderful. And Chef Bassan, you've had over 20 years in the industry. 26
26.
is what you do. Wow. Incredible. Okay. So, Chef Bassan, how did this journey begin within the food industry? What brought you in here? Were you always into it? Did you always know that this is where you belonged? This was the kind of industry you were going to get into? Or did you chance upon it?
I'll be very honest. Till time I was in my school, I never thought I will get into it. I wanted first to get into defense, and then engineering was my second best option. I have an issue of knock knee, so couldn't get into defense. Was not ready for my medical, and engineering. Unfortunately, I couldn't clear. But yeah, few of my friends were filling this paper for hotel management. And
Right.
I'm from a small town called Ajmer in Rajasthan. And we had to go to Jaipur. So, a 12th class boy looking for an opportunity to go out with the friends. There was hotel management was not in my head at all. It was
Right.
just that friends going to a different city alone together. It will be a party time. And that's what we did went there, watched a late night movie, stepped out at 1 o'clock when I have a paper in the morning at 9. So that kind of commitment I had, zero commitment. But because of my hotel management and engineering and defense preparation, somehow I cleared it. And at that
Ah,
time, I had nothing in hand. So I said, okay, let me try. Let me try. Let me do 1 year and then we'll take a call what to do next. But once I entered in, it was never looking back. The moment I entered in the kitchen, the first kitchen class, the first kitchen practical, I realized this is what I want to do. And
right.
yeah, the first week I decided that I'm not changing my profession.
Excellent. And what was your first break, Chef Basin? What was your first break within the industry?
Uh, so my first was my internship, which we do during the course, during the college time. That
Hmm.
was in Taj Mahal Palace, Jaipur.
Hmm.
But my first job was Taj Palace after completing my hotel management. My first job was Taj Palace, New Delhi.
Oh, okay. All right. And what followed after that?
Okay, so it's quite an interesting journey, I would say. Though I have not changed much, and I have only done two changes in my entire career. Like people do a lot of hopping. I worked for initial 5 years with Taj and then 16 years with the Oberoi. So that was the first change, and the second change was after 16 years, I did 5 years of Leela. But
Right.
in that entire journey, I was lucky that the company has moved me around. Like in my Taj,
Hmm.
I started with Taj Palace. There I did banquets, coffee shop, fine dining. And then I was transferred to Taj Mansingh, which was Taj Mahal also. And I did everything there, banquet, fine dining, uh, coffee shop, all that thing. And there I had done a lot of pre-openings in Taj.
Hmm.
So because of that, I got an opportunity to work with the Oberoi Group and open one of the most iconic restaurant of our country and the most successful opening till date called 360.
Right.
Um, then worked with the Traventino, another opening, and then got my first independent charge in 2006 after 8 years. So it took me 8 years to become executive chef. Tried into Udaipur, then I was the first Indian to head Rajvilas in Jaipur. Then I was posted in Egypt and then came to
Egypt.
Mumbai. So yeah, I was heading Oberoi Salashish on the Red Sea.
Uh-huh.
So if you see that these two hotels have given me a lot of movement, not many changes, but I've seen a lot of hotels. And when
Right.
I joined Leela, I started with Leela Gurgaon, and
Hmm.
then I was also given an opportunity to lead Leela Chanakyapuri. And once I went to the East Delhi also. And then I became a culinary director as well as the F&B director. So I was managing both the portfolios for Leela Gurgaon. Then I was given opportunity to manage both the portfolios to Leela Chanakyapuri also simultaneously. And lastly, I was working as an acting general manager of Leela Gurgaon before I said, enough, hang it out, start something of your own. So yeah, it's been
Wonderful.
close to 7, 8 months I'm working on my own.
Wonderful. I'm going to bring you back to that very, very soon. But before that, I want to find out in these last 2 decades that you've been in the industry, what do you believe have been some of your highlights? I know we've opened up the iconic 360 through the Oberoi hotels, but are there any highlights that, you think, oh, this has really been something that I want to showcase right now in the interview? Some highlights and a challenge. I'm going to ask you about your challenges as well. So let's start with the
Great.
highlights and then we'll go into the challenges.
So there are multiple. It's difficult to zero down one or two, but still, I'll pick two of them. One
Uh-huh.
is I started doing a lot of research on the lost recipes. Like I spent 7 months researching on the Mughal era, how the Mughals came to India, how they expanded, what happened when one ruler fought with the other, or like Ibrahim Lodi's mother tried to poison Babur through the chef, so he lost trust. He went back and brought his
Right.
cooks. Or when his son Humayun lost to Sher Shah Suri and he was in exile and took shelter, the king of Persia. And when he came back with the help of king of Persia, Shah of Persia, they don't call it king,
Hmm.
they call it Shah. So
Yeah.
Shah of Persia. So what influence he brought, or when Akbar did treaties with different kings, what happened? Like Aurangzeb was one of the bigger warrior, and he was always on the move. So how the cuisine changed. So I spent good 7 months on these kinds. So that's one highlight, and I'm continuing that. I'm still researching on different parts of different cuisines of the world, different cuisines
Wow.
of India now.
Uh-huh.
And the second is I pioneered a home chef movement in India. Uh, I worked with a lot of home chefs. I started this in
Uh-huh.
2014, and when I started, there was a lot of pushback which I faced, but I was determined. I could see that there is much more than what we chefs in hotels are doing, and something I
Hmm.
need to protect our own cuisine, our own culinary heritage, and it worked. And now
Hmm.
India is booming. Home chefs are going everywhere. In fact, the first home chef which I produced,
Uh-huh.
she was a chartered accountant, law graduate, CS, more than 22, 23 years of practicing experience, never
Uh-huh.
worked in a professional kitchen, never worked on a professional range. I pulled her out, and I still remember she was like, Chef, I cannot work on these ranges. Give me those small burners which I use at home. I literally
Right.
handheld her and said, we need to cook for hundreds, not couple of people. I promise you, I will teach you all that.
Uh-huh.
And recently, she was awarded among the top 30 chefs of the country. She has done
Wow.
pop ups in all the hotels now. She has her own restaurant to herself. She goes and teaches in one of the top culinary colleges of our country. In fact, the management institutes of
Incredible.
the country now. So feel proud of her. And I think that
Uh-huh.
was a significant achievement I did in my life.
Totally. And you mentioned that there was a few hindrances with this in terms of bringing home chefs into the forefront or into the industry. Why? I believe that would have been a challenge, but why was it? Was it the timing was wrong in those days in 2014, 15, or why was there a bit of pushback?
See, I think the most difficult thing to accept is a change. And it was a change. People haven't heard about it. It was that cooking in a professional environment is only chef's job.
Right,
So, but food is not only by chefs. There was
right.
certain food which was kept within the households, which is true
Mm,
Indian cuisine. So my aim was to bring it out. I have no wrong intention, no right intention. It was just protect our culinary heritage before it dies out. So initially, it was not accepted well. There was
aha,
like home chef ladies
mm,
who have no professional experience will come and cook. But yeah, I'm happy that I was able to prove that my decision is right, is not wrong, and it changed the way people are looking at these people today. I'm so happy.
wonderful.
Lots and lots of home chefs are doing great business today. So I really feel proud.
Wonderful, Chef Hassan. And taking a look at inspiration. How do you motivate yourself? How do you keep coming up with great ideas with food? How do you do it? What inspires you?
Everyone around me.
Oh,
Everyone
okay.
around me. When I serve a plate to a guest and when I see an empty plate,
Aha.
that motivates me. When I'm cooking for my family uh, and I get a compliment, that motivates me. Uh,
Aha.
when I see something good, something unique by any chef, that motivates me. I keep looking into social media, Instagram and Facebook, keep getting ideas. That motivates me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
when I'm working with my owners, they throw challenges on me. That motivates me. When I see a new
Wonderful.
ingredient, that motivates me. Sometime when I've cooked the dish and I have been asked to cook the same dish again, that motivates me to cook something better and make them taste that why to cook the same thing again when we can do
Mm-hmm.
better. So anything and everything that comes my way, I take it as a motivation. Uh,
Right.
Bollywood movies, I pick up a lot of dialects that motivates me.
Really?
Yeah. There's lots and lots in Bollywood movies where you can learn actually.
Okay, wow. I would never have thought that that would have been a source of inspiration, but bravo. And role models and globally or locally, anybody that inspires you in terms of personalities?
Thomas Keller, Chef Thomas Keller, French Laundry,
Mm.
big
Mm-hmm.
fan. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
um, he for me, his food is genuine. He
Uh-huh.
gives emotion to ingredients. He don't bluff. His food looks nice, but his food is not focused on presentation. His food is on flavors. He is the
Mm-hmm.
chef who knows when to stop. He doesn't overdo things.
Right.
So I'm a big fan of Chef Thomas Keller.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And Chef Barton, talking about ingredients, and you mentioned that, you love to play with new ingredients. What's your ingredient of choice or your ingredients of choice at the moment? Why?
Uh, it depends on two things. Am I cooking or am I eating? If I'm
Mm.
if I'm eating at home,
Uh-huh.
it's a very simple ingredient. It's a rajma chawal cooked by my mom. That's it.
Oh,
Period. I can survive on it morning, evening, night, day after day. I can survive on that.
uh-huh.
But that's my comfort food. That's my ingredient. I would love. But when it comes to cooking, I
Mm-hmm.
love a lot of Asian flavors, and
Mm-hmm.
especially when I'm able to infuse those Asian flavors in Indian and European cuisine. So I'm working on a cuisine called Eurasian, which is Europe and Asian together. That how
Uh-huh.
I infuse a lemongrass into a stew, or how I
Okay.
make a French nudge using Thai herbs and coconut milk. So those kind of ingredients. I'm a big
Ah,
fan of star anise. The sweetness, the aroma, the hinge of a lot of aromatic. So overall, it's a very nice spice.
hmm Wonderful. And do you feel there's anything that, or any ingredient that is understated, or any group of food that's understated or underrated or undervalued in a way, in your opinion? I saw a
Uh,
great talk of yours. That's why I'm asking about millet. But
Millet.
I'll let you tell me first if there's
Yeah,
anything that you think is understated or underrated.
yeah, I think there are many things like I would say a jackfruit. Though in last
Hmm.
couple of years, jackfruit has become quite respectful in India, but
Aha.
it's a great ingredient, but a little understated. Millets was, and this is a year of millets. Even the United Nations has accepted it. It's great. But like you are talking about the talk I have done on millets, I
Right.
think it was underrated,
Aha.
but right now it's getting overstated.
Mm.
It still it's not achieved where it should. It haven't
hmm
received its due respect. But why I'm
Right.
saying is overrated because people are speaking about millets, millets, millets without understanding millets. So still a
Yes.
long way. Millets, you'll be confused that whether I'm saying millets is understated or overrated. It's underachieved but overrated because of marketing.
Right. I agree. Yeah. Yeah.
That's where I'm saying.
Exactly. They haven't really discovered the essence of the millets, but it's just being spoken about, and it's on everybody's lips right now in terms of the food groups.
See, people are
So,
following blindly without understanding.
mm,
I have a
mm,
problem with that.
mm,
That everything has its own character. Every ingredient, we should understand the emotions of the ingredient. We should be able to give emotions to the ingredient. We should be able to communicate with the ingredients. But people are not doing that.
right.
People are listening and doing without understanding.
Right. Right.
So I have
Right.
a problem with that.
Right. Thank you. And what have you seen as in the last decade? What have you seen as the changes within the industry in general? Let's look locally in India, but what has been the change in the last decade and why?
It's a very positive change. Very, very positive change.
Aha,
Uh, with these TV shows, Facebook, Instagram, the globalization,
aha.
uh, people have start respecting food, and people have
Mhm.
got into food a lot. Because of that, the availability of ingredients have become easy. Uh, People have got educated to the next level. They know what is right, what is wrong. So, overall, the quality of food, the standard of food, the competition in the food world has grown multiple folds. Because of that, the overall standards have gone up. So it's
Right,
great. The change is great.
right. Wow. And I discovered you through social media. But how have you used social media in your career? And do you think it's something that's essential to chefs right now? Is that an essential tool to use Instagram and other social media platforms to stay relevant within the industry?
Uh, I think yes. So
hmm
before, in one of the questions, I mentioned that when you asked me how do I motivate myself, so
hmm
in that one thing was social media. We through social media we come to know what's happening, what's new, what's around. There are a lot of ingredients we pick up from the social media. A lot of when I see maybe like when I was saying about home chefs, the thought we started from the social media. The interaction
hmm
started from the social media, and then it came that yeah, I can do this. So it all started that. So it's very important.
Right.
I I share everything what I do on social media. I think keeping knowledge to yourself is not good. You should share knowledge and you should share the right knowledge. So that's why I put what is there. I don't do any fabrication. I don't get into false lighting or false creation. Like if I'm clicking a picture from the buffet, it's a picture from the buffet. It might not be
Right,
the best of the picture, but it would be a genuine picture. So
right,
I try to share the real knowledge with people. Like I was mentioning about the research what I have done. I put
right.
that research on that. Whatever I come, like recently I put something on a sweet dish which come from east, which is called Sandesh. So I put a history of Sandesh on social media. So that's kind.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think it's nice for chefs to be on the social media.
Right.
It's a platform which is meant for open interaction.
Uh-huh.
So you can share knowledge with your youngsters, your coming generation. You motivate them, you tell them what is right so that they are there. They don't start from where we start. So every generation takes it to the next level, and the other generation starts where the earlier generation has stopped. So that's very important. And
Mm-hmm.
also, like I gain knowledge. I think when you are on the social media, you're not only giving, you are also taking a lot. So other chefs
Right,
will also benefit from that.
right.
So it is should be there, not only for the business
Wonderful.
reason, but for your knowledge, for your growth, for your personality development, for everything you should be there.
Right. And you've said that you've seen this change, and social media has helped, and TV shows have helped, bring light to in food industry, and the hospitality industry. But what would you like to see more of in India? What would you like to see more of? What kind of differences or change would you like to see happen?
Uh, like I mentioned about the home chef or the research on the food or prevention of our culinary heritage, I would love more and more of us going and preventing and safeguarding our culinary heritage before it disappears. India is a land of diversity. The food changes in every 50 meters. Every household is a
Mm,
different thing.
mm,
There are so many unique dishes. If I put on just vegetarian dishes, India on one side and the globe on the other side, I can challenge that the number of vegetarian dishes what India produce is way more than anywhere else. So we need to look into that. We need to showcase it to the world. Uh, at no point I'm saying we should not be open of accepting ingredients or cuisines from outside, but we
hmm
should not leave our culture. That's what I'm there. We should imbibe them with us. Food is always
hmm
evolving. Today, what
hmm
we're having is also not what we used to have 100 years ago. What we were
Sure.
having 100 years ago was not what we were having 1,000 years ago. So, food is always evolving and the food will evolve, but evolve in a manner that you don't forget your
Right.
roots. That's what I want to see.
Wonderful. And with that, that actually brought me to another question that I had for you, which is India and the global stage. Have we landed? Is India being recognized globally for its food diversity, or are we still just the land of curry and curry? That's it. Are we being recognized on the global stage in terms of food?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Uh, so the word curry is been given by people in Europe to the Indian food. Uh, and yes, for them, it's a curry, it's a butter chicken, it's a garlic naan, it's a samosa, it's a dal makhani.
Right.
But thanks to various chefs, where they are taking newer cuisine, like Chef Atul Kochar has opened a restaurant where he is doing cuisine from Northeast. So,
Hmm.
so it's going out. Uh,
hmm
but yes, like I said, it's been there. The butter chickens have become so strong internationally that people respect us for that cuisine. But that's
hmm
overshadowed other dishes also. So now it's
hmm
happening. Uh, it will take some time, but we will reach there. So that's why I say yes and no both.
Great. And can you give us one or two examples of recent restaurants or culinary venues in India that you have felt are setting trends or breaking norms or anything that you want to highlight within something within India?
Okay. So there is a restaurant in so there are many restaurants. There are many
Hmm.
restaurants which are doing great for number of years, like an Indian accent in Delhi, or a Comoran in Gurgaon, or a Bombay Canteen in Mumbai, or a O Pedro in Mumbai,
Ah,
uh, or a Kapachaka Kandari in Chennai. So these are the places which have been there for years, years.
right,
But
right.
in the recent one, I would rate Cavatina very high. Cavatina is a modern take on a Goan restaurant
Ooh,
where Chef Avinash Martin has
aha,
bought dishes which was in his home, or their memories. Like for example, there was a the dish where he remembers the guy used to come early morning on a bicycle, and the horn used to be that pom pom kind of a thing. So
yes.
there, so he serves the food in a similar kind of flavor in a modern avatar with the different garnishes. And then when it's coming, he comes and blow that horn on your. So he shares his nostalgia, he shares his experience, he shares his memories with the food. So and it's a venture is beautiful. The area is beautiful. He's a great chef, lot of skill in his hand. So
Aha.
overall, good food, great ambience, nostalgia, story, experience. Except something wow. So I rate Cavatina very high
And Cavatina is based, I mean, as in
in
located
South
in?
Goa. In South
Oh,
Goa.
it is in Goa itself. Okay, great. Wonderful. And Chef Basson, before I do say goodbye to you, now taking a look at your um, future or what you want to see manifesting. I believe you've started your own new ventures right now. So I'm going to ask you to tell us a little bit more and to tell us what you would like to see manifest personally and professionally in your near future.
So after I have left my job of hotels, I have
Aha.
got into one is consultancy. So I'm doing restaurant across the globe. I'm doing a couple of them in US, one in DC, one in New Jersey. I am
Wow.
doing I've just finished one in Dubai. I've done one in Kolkata, one in Noida, one in Ahmedabad, one in Raipur, uh, doing one in Goa, one in Chennai. So that's one part. Second part is I'm starting my own catering division
Hmm.
with a partnership with someone. And third is I'm working with few brands. Like there is a sprinkler brand. So you just sprinkle on the dish and the flavor changes. So this is
Wow.
what I'm doing. So this is three major verticals I'm working on.
Right.
Uh, what I want to do, where I want to see, what is my manifest is I want to do justice with I
Right.
want to give true flavors to the people. I I don't just like I said, I'm a big fan of Thomas Keller because his food looks beautiful, but
Hmm.
he doesn't overdo things. He keeps food as food. He respects food, and when
Hmm.
you eat, you enjoy the flavors. It's not
Hmm.
just by name or it's just not by the garnish. It's true,
Right.
real food he's serving. I want to do the same in India. I want to
Excellent.
tell people what is real food. So that's my
Excellent. Oh, beautiful. Chef Bassan, it's been such a delight speaking to you. I've enjoyed our conversation. It was all I thought it would be and more. So thank you and wishing you all the very, very best in your
thank
future.
you and wish you too a very happy festive season. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye.